if you're unhappy and you're looking for someone to make you happy, that's not going to happen. Because how could someone make you happy when you don't even care to make yourself happy?
Say that louder for the people in the back.
Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a big lesson for me because, in our situation, I feel like I didn't really depend on you to make me happy, but you tried really hard. You felt like it was your responsibility to make me happy. And when you realized I wasn't going to be happy because you're trying, like, everything you're doing is not working. It's not going to work. It's because I myself need to go dig deep within and find out why I'm unhappy and fix that. Mm-hmm. Because trying to fight that battle, trying to make someone happy that's already unhappy, you're just going to exhaust yourself, and situation will either end up, the relationship will either like end, or you're just going to be miserable. Because at the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself first. That way you are able to take care of your partner, and that way you're both happy. Hey, it's Tamesia.
And I'm Omar. And you're listening or watching Marriage No Chaser.
We're going to share with you our uncut version of marriage from our own experiences and what marriage is teaching us every day.
And like always, we're going to take a shot.
What'd you give me?
Cold Hennessy.
See, Hennessy burns.
You're just a rookie.
No.
I'm going to just get you vodka from now on.
Okay.
Okay, so on this week's episode, we're going to share with you guys our 2020 lessons. So
10 lessons we learned in 2020. Right? In no particular order.
Nope. But I'd like to start off the episode with saying, Roll Tide, we the national champions.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the episode, babe.
You want to start from 1 or 10, or does it matter?
We can start at 1.
Well, they're not in order. So.
Yeah. So, one of the lessons we learned was finding compromise and not arguing who's right. We kind of talked about this in like other episodes, but it's kind of been an eye-opener in 2020.
Did you hear my stomach?
No. Well, it's been an eye-opener in 2020 that we both just be arguing to want to be right, per se. It may come off as, it comes off as like we both want to be right all the time.
Not necessarily arguing to be right, because I'm not arguing to be right.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's how I interpret it. I'm not sure about you, but that's how I interpret that's how I interpret it. Like, I feel like when we do have arguments, or when we did have arguments, it's mostly about having the other person get on board to your side and just not hit your stomach.
No, I just think, I can't speak for you. I personally don't argue to be right, but it is implied that I feel like that you think that I'm coming off like I want to be right. And watching this, I can see where that comes from. And so I feel like doing the podcast and obviously spending way more time around each other with COVID and everything, that we know that, like, we knew we've argued about that, but it's like a bigger thing and it's repetitive.
Yeah.
So that's basically the lesson with that is don't even argue at all. Like, it shouldn't be arguing. You should be discussing or a disagreement and trying to come to a compromise or a solution. And that's one thing we need to work on in 2021 is it's not an argument. We're not enemies. We're a team, and we just need to come to an agreement.
Yep. Finding compromise. I definitely agree with you, babe.
Yeah. And the next one, another thing we learned is patience.
Oh, that's big.
Not just with each other, with the kids as well. For me, I learned to not, like, I'm quick, like with you say something, I'm triggered, and I'm automatically attacking back because I feel like I'm being attacked. So if I just take a step back and kind of really think about where you're trying to come from without letting my anger take over, I'm learning to just be patient and let you say what you need to say. And because when you finish, it makes more sense a lot of the time. And if not, I need to be patient enough to be able to get to the point where I understand what you're trying to say.
Okay.
And, the kids, that's self-explanatory. It's just, they're just crazy. So we just need more patience. Pray for us.
On my end, patience is something I'm starting to take from you. Is when we do have our blow up arguments, or when we do decide to fight, I used to not be able to, like, take the time to reflect from the relation, like reflect on whatever we're arguing about. And I would, kind of be like, no, like, we're going to talk about it now, when emotions are high. And yeah, that's just a recipe for disaster.
I feel like I've always done that because my main thing when we argue, yes, I'm mad, but I don't want to make permanent damage. And I know that if I get angry enough and I continue to argue, I'm going to make permanent damage or cause permanent damage. So being patient like that, did you just turn it up?
I turned it down.
Oh. Well, being patient and sitting back and taking time to cool off and think about what was said and processing how I feel and being able to explain how I feel. I've always tried to do that just because I don't want to cause permanent damage where I say something I didn't mean. So
yeah, you saying I did that a lot.
Oh, I know. But but you learned in 2020 that that's not good.
Yeah.
So
number 3 is communication is about listening. And yeah, I think this one falls more on you than me because
I think it falls on both of us in different ways.
Okay, well, I'd love to hear your side when it's your turn to share. So
okay, I'm just saying.
For me, communication is about listening. You have to actively listen when you're engaging into a conversation. I feel like when we do have our conversations, either A, you're cutting me off to get to your point, or B, you're it's like one in one ear and not the other. So with that, it's like, okay, how do I try to communicate with you if you don't try to listen to me. And the thing I've been learning to do is kind of just telling you to shut up. I mean, as blunt as that sounds, like sometimes in the heat of the moment, I do be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up."
Mm-hmm.
When I need to get my shit off and I need to say what
And
I
that's
need
when
to
my
say.
patience kicks in.
But then there's times where I'm like, "Hey, babe, like I'm trying to tell you something, and you're talking. You're talking. You're not listening. We're not having good dialogue. We're not going back and forth. And both ways seem to get you to listen, but I would prefer to not be as blunt as I am when I do say that, so that way we can keep this
Come to
going.
a solution.
Yes.
Compromise.
Compromise.
No, my side of it is I just realized that I just get caught up in saying what I want to say before I forget it. And then I also get excited. I don't know if excited is the word. But I need to say what I'm thinking before I forget it. And I need to keep saying things until I'm done saying things.
And that's how it comes off as you being right.
And that's not what I'm trying to do. I literally can't. I'm bad at formulating what I'm feeling. So when I think it and it actually comes to some words that I think of, I want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep cutting you off because I'm doing more thinking, what am I going to say, than listening. And I realize if I wait and listen, I don't always have a whole lot to say because I always forget what I'm going to say. But I'm actually listening, which I think is more important than
a rebuttal. It's more important than the rebuttal.
It's not always a rebuttal. It's just me trying to say what I need to say about how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting better at sharing how I feel, so it's a little bit easier for me to express it after you're done expressing what you need to say.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. That's them dogs.
It's probably a Maya up there making them bark.
Maybe.
Anyway. What is the next one? Are you done with that one?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. The next one is just arguing about the same stuff. So, did you put that on there?
I think
I don't know. Because when I think of that, I'm thinking the cycle.
Yeah. So
where we don't completely resolve something. We don't come up with a solution or a compromise. We argue about it so we both get sick of it, and then we kind of talk about it and then leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes up again because obviously it's something that bothered one of us or both of us.
Yep.
And the cycle continues until we finally actually resolve it. We halfway resolve things. And if we halfway resolve them and don't really talk about them thoroughly, things get too heated or something, we don't come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes a thing we argue about all the time. And we honestly knew that before, but I feel like 2020 we realized we need to resolve this. We can't get up from this conversation until we resolve it, or else it's going to come up again.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I definitely 100% agree with what you said. It's crazy because we still argue about some of the stuff some of the dumb high school shit we used to argue about. There's some stuff we do.
High school.
Yes. Maybe not. Okay. Not high school. I'll probably say after early marriage.
The last years ago with stuff we still haven't resolved. Yeah.
So there's a lot of arguing, and it's like you said, we just blow up, tell what we need to say, come back after the fact, say our apologies, have a brief conversation about it, and hope that it's fixed.
Or force it to be fixed.
Yeah,
because
and then
we just don't want to do it. We're both exhausted and tired of it, so we just push it to the side.
Yeah, and then we just literally a couple weeks go by, then I'm angry about this or you're angry about that, and the cycle repeats, and it just keeps continuing and continuing, and just you know, like earlier you said, like just having this podcast and just being able to hold each other accountable, and also seeing your actions, like looking. God dang dogs.
I'm just gonna keep it going.
So just looking on the from the outside looking in on the relationship, I think that is one thing we're doing a lot, or that we've done a lot in 2020, was take ourselves out of the relationship and try to see all angles of it, and you know, come up with a better solution. Because then at that, like, we kind of like going into the next one, like we kind of both want the same thing. So like in all of our arguments and who wants to be in right and all of that stuff, we both want the same goal. We just have different ways of going about it, and we tend to not compromise about it. So like we both want the same thing at the end of the argument or anything like that, but we both have different ways of going about it, and we don't try to mend those two sides together and come up with the best solutions moving forward. And I think with our big plans in 2021, I think we are taking the time to do that.
Okay. So the whole, we both want the same things. I think I put that on there. But I was thinking more of, like, we both, honestly, all this time have felt the same way. Like, we both feel like we don't contribute, or we feel like the other person doesn't appreciate the other. Like, we don't appreciate each other. We both, we both feel unappreciated. And we're not, just the words. What are words? Page. What are the words? Love languages. We're not loving each other with using each other's love language. Yeah. That makes sense. Did I say that right?
I understand what you're saying. If you got
so like I'm totally not a like touchy-feely person at all. But that's what you want, to feel loved most of the time. That's not your only love language, but that's one of the top ones.
And yours, I think.
And mine is just what is it called?
Either words of affirmation or quality time.
And when I say quality time, like, because they say quality time, you think that, you know, there was a conversation we had where we were in the car. I think we're coming back home from the gym, and I was like, quality time, like, I didn't realize something I said made it click in your head. Like, you thought if we just sit down and like watch TV together, or like,
that is quality time,
that you were considering that like the level of quality time, which I honestly thought too, but it's like, this is not fulfilling, like, this isn't it. And it's more like doing what we're doing now, talking about things and really getting deep and connecting. That's what I need. That's my number one thing. Because we used to not really talk, like, at all, like, just basic conversation. What do the kids need? What's for dinner? How was your day? Like, but we never really talked about serious things. But now we always have like decent conversations.
So yeah, we've always had deep conversations, but I feel like we did go through a period in our relationship where we weren't communicating, like you said.
Well, I wouldn't say deep. Just like legit conversations about more than just acquaintances talk about. If that makes sense.
Well, that's
like, how was the weather and how was your day? Or how are you doing? I'm good. Okay. What's for dinner?
Well, that's kind of news to me, because I definitely thought we had pretty decent conversation, deep conversation throughout our marriage and relationship, but it kind of did die down.
I'm agreeing with you. I literally was just saying, I wouldn't say deep because we don't always talk like this all the time. I'm just saying, but we definitely don't talk like what I just gave examples of.
Okay. I'm just going to agree.
I was saying I was agreeing with you. I was just saying, like,
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. Now you're confusing me. um, but what was I saying? We both want the same things. So basically, we both just feel like the other person doesn't, or we both need to feel appreciated. We both want to feel appreciated and loved. And because we're not like speaking each other's love language, that's getting missed a lot. Not all the time, but a lot of times. Or we go through like good phases and then we start like slacking, and it's kind of like a up and down thing.
Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with like, I think we'll get in the groove, and then I go away for a week, and then it's like, all right, restart. We got to restart everything, and it's like we got to keep restarting every week when I get back and stuff like that. And
you'll be home for like 2 weeks, and then like we're finally getting into a groove, and then you're gone. So like I turn that off and focus on getting everything done at home.
I think
so we gotta reset.
So in 2021, we need to incorporate the continuation button,
which I think we did. I'm thinking we're doing pretty good.
I think we're doing good now. I mean, I just got back today, so,
and it's different than it usually is. I think.
Yeah.
The vibe is different. I don't know.
The vibe is really different. That's crazy.
I think you're the only one that got the joke.
No, never mind.
All right. You gonna say the next one?
So pretty much we're responsible for our own happiness, and I think that is like big.
It's a big thing, yeah.
Big thing, because I don't know. Like I feel like movies, TV shows, relationships.
Here.
Yes. Amaya, if you're watching this, you need to go to bed. So
anyway.
Yeah. So we're responsible for our own happiness. So when I watch like TV shows and movies, they tend to come off, well, and even some podcasts I listen to, like they tend to come off as your significant other should be making you happy. Like, I think we...
Oh, they shouldn't be making you happy.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I'm saying, like, I can't rely solely on you every day to make me happy. Because, like, I feel like that's an impossible task to complete. You know? But when you're responsible for your own happiness, the happiness you bring to me makes it more fulfilling, it makes it better, and then vice versa. So when I'm happy on my own, that tends to rub off on you, and when you're happy on your own, that tends to rub off on me. So then now we're bringing our own happiness to the table, and then now we can exchange happiness, if that makes any sense.
The vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, we could say that. I get that. I mean, that's why I always say to anyone that asks for any type of advice, it's like, work on you first before you go out seeking a serious relationship with someone. Because if you're unhappy and you're looking for someone to make you happy, that's not going to happen. Because how can someone make you happy when you don't even care to make yourself happy?
Say that louder for the people in the back.
Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a big lesson for me, because in our situation, I feel like I didn't really depend on you to make me happy, but you tried really hard. You felt like it was your responsibility to make me happy. And when you realized I wasn't going to be happy because you're trying, like, everything you're doing is not working. It's not going to work. It's because I myself need to go dig deep within and find out why I'm unhappy and fix that. Because trying to fight that battle, trying to make someone happy that's already unhappy, you're just going to exhaust yourself, and situation will either end up, the relationship will either like end, or you're just going to be miserable, because At the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself first. That way you are able to take care of your partner. And that way you're both happy. Healthy and happy.
Yeah, if you can't take care of yourself, what makes you think you can take care of somebody else?
Or like the whole thing about the emergency there's a little mask thing on the airplane, like put yours on first before you help someone else put theirs on.
Yeah.
Because what good are you to them if you don't have yours on first? Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Yep. Our next realization is that we are toxic. I mean, I've been knew that, but I think we're actually, say it. First step is admitting. So.
What's the next step?
I don't know.
Me either.
I know the first step is admitting or it says we were toxic. Because I feel like we kind of came out of that, but looking back and talking about it more, like on here and just in general, like we were toxic.
That's fuck.
Like it was bad, and we was looking at other people like, but we weren't any different. That's crazy.
Facts, because we were hella toxic. Just anything. Like, I feel like just because we both have dominant personalities. So then when
you say that every single episode, like
Do
almost every single episode, you are talking about my dominant personality, or we have dominant personalities. You don't want to get to number 10 then. Anyway, why are we skipping?
Right, so like we have two strong personalities. So when we argue and shit, it kind of like spills over to everybody else, if that makes any sense.
Who everybody else?
Everybody else, you know who you are.
I don't even know who they are. You talking about our friends?
Yeah.
How?
So when we...
I feel like it's the other way around sometimes. So.
Yeah, sometimes. But I feel like when we had our issues a lot, other people had their issues all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but I don't.
You can't agree?
I haven't observed that.
Oh.
I feel like ours usually spilled off of somebody else's. We always
get off your high horse.
I mean, not every time, but I don't see like it being a reoccurring. I don't know. I guess
that's what I seen.
Well, we were always the place where people went to hang out. So I mean, if we were doing bad, the whole vibe was off. Mm-hmm. I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, just know we were toxic.
We were toxic. We didn't communicate. We screamed at each other. We were real mean to each other. Some more mean than the other. Someone was more mean than the other.
Yeah, shut up.
Well, it was real toxic. And some people, some of y'all watching know how toxic it was. And, looking back, it was real bad. But we learned that we've come a long way. Basically saying that we were toxic, it shows that we've grown quite a bit.
Yeah. I said the last one, but
I said we were toxic.
You're right.
So
we have been complacent, and I feel like we have been complacent in literally every aspect of our
and that's exactly what that means.
Life, marriage, relationship, friendship, every aspect.
We just been going through the motions for the last 5-6 years,
and yeah, it's been freaking crazy. Like how, looking back on some of the stuff that's gone on, or just anything. Like I feel like we have both been stagnant and complacent towards anything. Like you tweeted the other day, like you love going to the gym, but you inconsistent. And I'm the same way. And that's like one thing we both love to do, and we never hold each other accountable for that.
I feel like for me, it's more of a mental thing. When I'm not feeling it mentally, even when I want to go, I can't get myself to go. Like, I need to get out of letting myself defeat myself and just do it. Push past it and do it.
Because when we do push past and we be like, you know what, we gotta go, regardless, and we go, we end up having better energy when we get home. We have better conversation, and we be like, yo, damn, I'm happy that
Be
we
ready
went.
to conquer the day and all that. Be feeling like you can do a million things.
Exactly. I think, yeah, starting off the day with the gym, I think that's a new thing that we need to start doing again.
And 2021 is our reset. No more complacency.
Facts.
More consistency. And what's the other word?
Being fucking relentless.
Perseverance, I was thinking. But yeah, that too.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then yeah. So what? I'm gonna go with 9. What is 9? We need to go back to marriage counseling. Watching these damn videos. Why you look at me like that? Like you didn't know that was on there?
I know, I was just being stupid.
Cause like watching these videos and some of the stupid stuff we be bickering about back and forth, but some of y'all might think that shit is serious, but literally that's been us since day one. Like we really don't be mad at each other.
It's just a whole bunch of
But it just be looking bad sometimes. Like I be watching like, dang, we really be going back and forth.
Yeah.
Low key shots are thrown or shots are fired, and then we just be like pressing forward and keep talking. But
that's how toxic trait right there.
I mean, that's kind of our thing though. It's not we don't take everything too seriously,
heart, yeah.
especially if it's not like unless it's a serious disagreement. Then them shots mean something else. But to get rid of the you heard her? To get rid of some of the reoccurring arguments that we do have that we haven't been able to find resolution, I feel like counseling. I seen a video. You see the video I sent you? Probably not. So there's a video. There's a group of men talking about like therapy for Black men, but they were also talking about therapy in their marriages and how it's basically like a mediator. Like you could tell your wife or your husband the same thing like over and over and over again, and they're just not getting it. And then you get into therapy, and you say the same thing, and then the therapist say it, and then your wife or your husband's like, "Oh,
why did you say that?"
But it's really like it takes someone else to tell you, okay, to interpret it in a different way, for it to be heard by your partner. So I feel like we need a lot of that. There's a lot of things that we can't resolve because we're not hearing it. Like we're not getting it. We're not able to word it in the way the other person understands. And I feel like it's healthy. We don't have to go like once a week or anything, but like I feel like it's healthy to go every couple weeks just to get some stuff resolved. And
I agree.
I don't want to do it here.
Oh no.
I just feel like here's not the place. I feel like I have a preference when it comes to counselors or therapists, and that doesn't really fit here.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm just gonna say that how that is, but that's why I feel we need marriage counseling. I don't know if you completely agree.
I think we need. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think we need marriage counseling for just a mediator.
Like I said.
I literally just agreed with you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
Look at you trying to be right again.
No, I'm saying like I thought you were repeating what I said. Like
no, I agreed with you. Back to what I was saying. So pretty much, I think we need to go back so we can have that mediation. Have that person that can interpret what we're trying to say and give it to the other partner. Because we do have a lot of, like you said in the beginning, petty arguments or be bickering.
I wouldn't
back
say
and forth.
petty. That's more
Bickering.
about the reoccurring, the cycle. That's what I was saying.
Oh, I'm talking about like the bickering and the cycle. Like I think we can break a lot of that if we had somebody interpret what we're trying to say differently. Because I could tell you go in the kitchen and cook, and you can take that as like me being rude or something like that, and he can interpret it some type of way. I'm just giving like a sort of an example.
That's a weird example.
That's the first thing that came to my head.
Go to the kitchen and cook. Go make me a sandwich.
I was gonna go say that. See, I was gonna be like, "Yo, go make me a fucking sandwich." That's what I wanted to say, but then I was
There's no
like,
way to interpret that word, fam.
But then I was like, nah, let me just say, like, you know, like, cause there's times where I come off as being blunt, and I don't mean to be blunt. And same with you. Like, you be coming off as blunt.
I feel like
you say I come off as rude a lot.
You come off as rude to me, and to other people sometimes. Not as much. I just say things and don't realize that I probably shouldn't have said it. Like, some things I just don't need to say at all.
And I say everything that's on my mind.
And you just say it wrong.
You don't always.
I say everything I'm not supposed to say, right? But you be saying stuff, but you say it wrong. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like something else, and it sounds rude as fuck. But that's not what you meant. You just be wording your stuff weird. I literally say something that I probably shouldn't have said, like,
yeah,
because I literally say what I'm thinking.
But I just say everything anyway. Anyway, hey, look, y'all can see we need to go back. If y'all know any good therapists. The bickering
is not what I was saying before. Was like the bickering is just us. I feel like the bickering doesn't cause any damage. It's just bickering. Like, that's just us.
But the recurring things.
But the reoccurring arguments that are constantly taking a toll. That's the stuff I feel like we need to get to hash out.
Mm-hmm. So if you know any good marriage counselors,
I mean,
give us their info.
Depends on where they are.
That's a valid point.
Anyway.
It's 2021, COVID, and, you know what I'm saying? They're doing Zoom counseling. Like, maybe we can, you know what I'm saying, slide in, get a couple sessions in. You know, anything to just start.
Yeah.
And number 10 is going to be... Bro, I didn't think that was... going. I was like, bro, what? Anyway, number 10 is that you are emotional, and I need to be more gentle.
So, backstory, before you go say that, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but
wrong. Wrong. Go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I've always come off as, or I've tried to come off as
a hard ass.
Yes, I show no emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I show no emotions because being emotional is weak to me in my head. Mm-hmm. Like, if you know that I'm feeling upset about something you did, then I'm weak because now you got me.
Mm-hmm.
So
you ain't wrong yet.
So this year we realized for real that I am sensitive as fuck. And I was putting on the front for so long. I didn't even know that I actually had emotions, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm super emotional. I'm a regular woman, y'all. Like, I didn't think I was.
Nigga, you thought you were a man?
No. I mean, as far as emotions go, because you know how we went to counseling and then he brought he brought up something like, typically men feel this way and then women receive it this or act this way, and we was like, no, that's swapped for us for like so many things. It was swapped.
Bro, don't be out here acting like I be running on high emotion and shit.
But you do. It doesn't necessarily be sad. It'd be more anger, but it's you run on high on emotions, and that's typically a woman thing. Where women are super emotional, more like sad.
No, we're not about to do that. Nope.
We're talking about me being emotional anyway.
Nope.
But I've been learning to let myself feel my emotions.
Let yourself be
to get vulnerable. Past them. I hate that word. Anyway. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just looking at you.
You're like vulnerable.
Well, I literally been looking at you this whole time.
I don't know. Maybe I felt away because you said vulnerable. I told you I don't like that word. I feel like naked and exposed when you say that. Anyway,
you trying to get naked? All right.
I've learned that because I used to just push everything to the side and not try to feel my emotions. So now that I'm learning to let myself feel them, to be able to get past them, I realize I'm really freaking emotional and I absolutely hate it. And realize you gotta tone it down because you are so used to me having this hard exterior where I feel like nothing, or I show that nothing affects me, that you just start throwing shots. And over time, that shit started to really.
I wouldn't even
hit.
say overtime, fam.
No, because you. At first, it was like I don't feel nothing, whatever.
No.
And then every.
That's where you're wrong.
Okay. Well then.
You may.
As far as it being obvious, I mean.
Okay, let me finish. You may think that's the way you coming off. Like you be like, you'll say something, and then I can look at your face until you're crying on the inside.
And you just don't care.
It depends. Because, you know what I'm saying, back to our toxic shit. I was on that toxic shit. So, but I mean, like, yeah, I was like, more cutthroat when I get fed up. Like, it would just be, like you said earlier, like a lot of the reoccurring problems in our relationship. And I'd be like, all right. And this is where I think you think I come off as emotional, because I explode when I do get to that point. Like when I get to my breaking point, I explode.
I'm not just talking about that.
But I'm saying, but you never look at everything else beforehand. And how much stuff I just be like, and I just shrug off. Until I get to a point when I feel like you're not listening, and then I blow up. But then this year, I wouldn't say this year. I actually, you know what, you're right. Yeah, I'm right. This year, I did notice that you are emotional as fuck. And that I need to be more gentle with you. Like,
I feel like a little baby.
Nah, like,
say that.
Like, I would treat you like one of the homies. Like, we would joke, throw shots at each other.
It's not that part. That's
nah, sometimes it do be that.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, like we be joking and shit, and I can tell when I throw a jab at you when we joking and playing around. You be like, you be feeling some type of way.
We don't even
you may
joke
not say
like that
it
no more though.
But I'm saying we did. But I'm saying I could see it though. I would say something, and it would hurt you. You may not want to admit it, but you'd be like, "No, I'm good." No, you wouldn't really do that.
Okay.
But you would be like on some like I'm good type shit. But then I can see inside like you be really putting on this facade like I don't know you better than anybody in the world.
It wasn't like I felt like I was intentionally putting on a facade. I'm sorry.
Well, you've been burping the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was more like that's just how I felt like I needed to be to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't got time to be feeling emotions. I got things to do. That's literally what it was. It was always like, I gotta do this. I don't have time to be sad about this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I don't have time to be sad or mad about that. It don't matter. Mm-hmm. Or I'll think about it later, and I just don't.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm finding myself having to be more gentle with you, and I think I've always should have been. I think I started off as gentle, and then throughout the relationship, you kind of showed me that you're not emotional. So I kind of like was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be rough. And
but
now,
you knew me more than anybody else. So
nah, that's I said in the beginning. I probably didn't say that shit, but in the beginning, like, you know what I'm saying, like me trying to woo over a girl, like I gotta show her. One, I gotta show her that I can be gentle and emotional. You know what I'm saying? I gotta show her that I'm also have this harsh side to me. I feel like you showed me a brief instant of your vulnerability, and then Why you look at me like that?
Nothing.
No.
Because you swear you're not emotional at all. So I'm just, you know.
I guess I am. Sure. Whatever.
Anyway.
Can't nobody whoop me. I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
But in the beginning, like, you showed, like, a vulnerable side of you. And then at a point, I think at, like, our turning point was, like, basic training when you left. And I think that's when all the walls
I feel like basic training was too much. I feel like I balled up everything. I was irritated. I just hated being away. All of it put together, I shut everything off. I think I went on like freaking autopilot.
And had all these fucking
I think basic training low-key, it wasn't even hard, but I think it low-key kind of fucked me up in the head.
So then...
Like, I don't know how to explain it.
So then now I'm over here knocking down walls. So I'll knock down a wall and you put another one up behind it. Like, the culture, like... There's 15 walls in between you. I knock out the first one, another one pops up right in front of you. And it's just like I keep hitting walls and it just keeps popping up. And I think now you're getting to a point where you're just like, I'm going to relax. I'm going to be vulnerable for my husband. I'm going to let him in.
I still got a few walls.
You know what I'm saying? You do.
My God.
Yeah. But I yeah, you do. And I'm gonna knock them hoes out too. Because we are a great team.
Mm-hmm.
And I love you.
With that being said,
it's affirmation. I hope we were here. I hope we were here for it. Were you there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's why you stopped mid-sentence. Anyway.
Hey, because I low-key was about to start singing for some reason.
Nobody has any idea what we're talking about. Anyway, so, you want to go first or want me to go first?
You tell me. You got one ready or what?
I don't know. I feel like, I can't pinpoint exactly what it was, but I feel like right before you left this last time, you were more gentle.
What the fuck? What? So when you say shit like gentle,
I don't know what else to call it.
I wasn't gentle.
I feel like it wasn't, like, I don't know. I don't want to call it gentle, but that's the only thing I can think of. So I say gentle because it just seemed weird.
So when you be like, yeah, you were gentle.
I don't know.
That don't mean like
I used it wrong. Shut up. I'm trying to compliment you.
Okay.
The fuck did you
that was my weak ass hair flip, but.
Okay. I feel like you, for some reason, were showing your softer side and things were nice. Unfortunately, you were leaving. But I appreciate that you took time to realize that I was kind of in a rut. Mm-hmm. And you, instead of you being frustrated with me, you took the time to see that and kind of be nicer and understanding, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for that, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I noticed it before you left.
Okay. Mine's is, I like the way you been on your shit lately. I'd say it like that, but you been on your shit lately. You been getting out your motherfucking head to actually get shit done. You kind of wanted to have the house prepared and shit taken care of when I got back.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that. And you got my car clean, so like...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you specifically requested that.
I mean, there be shit I be requesting and you still don't do it. So.
Okay. See, that's the little things then, huh?
So, yes, I appreciate you getting on your shit.
I tried.
Alright. I tried.
Oh, because work's stressing me out right now.
No, thank you. No, I tried.
I tried, like, thank you.
Nigga, thank you, dang.
Thank you. I thought, the way I said I tried, I feel like that's like a, I try, whatever. I don't know.
Okay, I guess.
Thank you for those kind words.
You're so amazing. But yeah,
What's
that's
that mean?
the end of the episode. The battery about to die.
Oh.
It's time to close
So,
out.
with that being said, please like, follow, share, comment, subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever
On all podcast streaming
whatever you listening or watching
platforms.
on.
Thank you, babe.
But that.
And you can follow us on Instagram at Marriage No Chaser and on Facebook at Marriage No Chaser. Yeah, and that's it. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.